Hey guys, it's Audra and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with my December TBR of what I would like to read before 2023. I'm gonna go into it quickly. I have two books that I am either in the middle of or have started previously in the year that I need to catch up on, and I'm sure that there are more than this. If I come across them, I will try to get to them, but probably not. I started this book a couple days ago. It's All Good People Here. This is by Ashley Flowers, who is the person who runs the Crime Junkie podcast, which I absolutely love and listen to every week. A new early one, I guess, released this morning. I saw it pop up and was like, oh my gosh, I gotta listen to that now. But I am halfway through this one. It is obviously like a murder mystery thriller, and I'm really enjoying it. And the next one is My Best Friend's Exorcism. I'm also halfway through this one. I was listening to it on audiobook and then it ran out of time. So I would like to finish that before the end of the year. So that is nicely and neatly wrapped up. The next set of books are books from the Mom Advice Book Club, which I absolutely love. A lot of times she picks out books that I haven't heard of, but end up being amazing reads, and usually literary fiction. And so I'm behind on like half of them. And so we need to get those finished as well. So we have The Lady's Handbook for Mysterious Illnesses. This is actually a memoir, so it's a little different, about a woman who all of a sudden gets a lot of these weird symptoms, I believe, at the end of college. And it kind of follows it throughout her life and how doctors can't figure out what it is. And so it's a memoir of her. I have also The Firekeeper's Daughter. This is a YA that is a chunker. I've started this a couple times on audio and I just wasn't being able to follow it for some reason or another. I know this is about an 18-year-old on a reservation with talking about how there is, I think it's like an opioid epidemic going on there. It says exploration of modern Native experience, a reckoning of current and historical injustices, and a powerful celebration of community. But I do know that there is something going on, that the FBI is investigating a new lethal drug. So it may be a tough one, but I need to power through it. Anyways, the next one I missed in October, I think, was The Five Wounds. This is a literary novel that's about Holy Week in the town of Las Pianas, New Mexico. A 15-year-old shows up pregnant, and it's a story of basically the baby's first year, 5 generations of this family, and their story together. So definitely literary fiction right there is what it seems like, so we'll see if that's true. Then A Cosmology of Monsters is one for October that I really wanted to get to, didn't get to. This is actually about real monsters. I think this family runs like a carnival of some sorts or a haunted house. The monsters come to life. But it's not too long, so that should go quickly. And the last one is, not the last one, because there's still one for this month. Last month was The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot. And this is literary fiction about a young girl who's in the hospital, and there's also an elderly man. And together they have 100 years of life, and it's their friendship, but also stories of their life, I believe, because it goes back in time to tell some of his life. So this would probably be hard-hitting because I think it's an end-of-life situation for at least the elderly man. I don't know for sure if it's the other one. And then I do have another stack. So there's a Christmas book that came out for Books of the Month this month that I don't remember the name of it. I ordered it yesterday, but it is basically I think it's a woman. She meets this other woman a year prior to when the story is. They like have an instant night of love, and then they never see each other again. And a year later, she agrees to get in a fake marriage with a man who happens to be the brother of the woman she met a year prior that she just absolutely loves. So forbidden romance, but also fake marriage trope there. So we'll see how that goes. I also want to get to one from last month called The Last Party. This is a thriller that takes place on New Year's Eve. So I don't know if I can actually get to it on New Year's Eve. I may have to start a few days before because I have no idea what I'm doing for that yet. But it says at midnight, one of them is dead. By morning, all of them are suspects. So hopefully that is a good fast-paced thriller. The next 6, I think what I'm going to do is wrap them up in wrapping paper and then choose them at random when I am just in the mood. A lot of these are like feel-good books, or they just have a different vibe to them. So the first 2 are books that I would say, if anything, like historical fiction, what's the word? Cozy historical fiction. Maybe that would be this category. I have read with my mom a couple other books from Catherine Hughes. I believe she is a UK writer, from what I can tell with the way these are published. But I really enjoy, it's like a slow pace, feel good. It's not a hard read whatsoever. But it goes back and forth in time, connecting different timelines. The previous ones that we read, of course, were World War II, because we enjoy those stories. This one is The Heart of Spain Lies a Secret. A young girl has lost her mother. She receives a letter, and it goes back and forth 40 years. And then it's another woman who's traveling abroad. So somehow they're connected. Don't know. Want to go into it without knowing too much. And then the memory box, it says Some Love Stories Can't Be Forgotten. A heartbreaking, beautiful story of love and war from an international bestseller. So this looks like, let's see. Jenny Tanner opens a box she cherished for decades. Contained within are her most precious mementos. All right, and so after the war in Italy, she left behind a piece of her heart. And yeah, I don't want to know anymore. But again, usually dual timelines, so I'm hoping that both of those get picked. Another historical fiction that I've heard a lot about lately is A Lady for a Duke. It's a little bit thicker, but this is about a woman who falls in love with a man, obviously, that you see on the cover. However, it's during a war. Which one is it? Waterloo? They are at Waterloo or whatever. But basically, the Duke of Gracewood is mourning the loss of his best friend who died in the war, and the best friend didn't actually die. So essentially, she goes into hiding of sorts so that the soldier can become the woman she was always meant to be. And she hears that her best friend is really struggling, and so she goes back, and, you know, all along he was actually in love with his best friend, who was a man, and now as a woman they hopefully have a happily ever after. I don't know, we'll see. There's a very long story behind it, obviously, to get to a happy ending. We also have a historical fiction kind of the Orphan House. This is along the same veins as the Catherine Hughes books, where it's dual timeline. It says 2 women uncover the secrets of the past in this emotional and poignant story that is perfect for fans of Lisa Weingate and Christina Morris. So it starts in 1934, and this lady is at the orphanage her father runs, and everything changes the day she sees him carrying a newborn baby that he says he found near the broken front gate. But this baby she recognizes. And then present day, there's another person, and stories unfold. 2 thrillers that I'm also going to put under the tree. I've seen this pop up a couple times here recently. The New House. You think you found your dream home? Think again. So it's 3 couples, 3 houses, and 1 home to die for. I've heard it's really fast paced and it's really good. It looks like it might be independently published as well, maybe. I don't know. And then this would be a read, and this is Stillhouse Lake. And I want to reread this and the next 2 in the series, because there's like 3 more I haven't got to read yet. But I really enjoyed this. Mainly, it's a great murder mystery. It's about a woman who goes into hiding because her husband is a murderer and he's in jail. Things happen with that, but he was a serial killer who they found, like, him in the midst of a killing in the garage of their home that he had been hiding people. But this takes place in my small city of Wichita, Kansas. So maybe that's where some ties are at the very beginning, but obviously they move into witness protection program and go from there. So that is a lot of books that I would like to read before the end of the year, but I do want to just give myself a little bit of accountability to hold on to, because I have slowed down in my reading this year. I say slow down, but I've read like 70 books, which is still quite a bit, but I would like to get back more into it, because of course I do. Always been a part of my life, always will be. and a lot of these books on my shelf still need to get read. So anyways, I would love to hear if you are reading any of these books this month, especially if you're doing the Mom Advice Book Club. I cannot wait. I just saw by accident that the new ones for next year have been posted, so I need to do a reaction video on that and go forward and see what is there, and order all my stuff from Bonfire, because I just love the shirts and the cups and all that stuff. So anyways, let me know what you're reading down below and if you've read any of these, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye guys.